blood, dust, a roar. An unforgiving world. Life clinging on by the second. Death always in pursuit. And the struggle never ceases. In the heart of Africa, on grasslands that stretch to the horizon, lies a kingdom shaped by the sun and the seasonal rains. This is the Serengeti, a name that means the land of endless plains. Here, the sun is no gentle friend, but a formidable monarch. Its light bakes the air, creating shimmering mirages on the golden plains and parching the cracked riverbeds. Life here is measured by the ability to find shade and the patience to wait. In the lingering morning mist, a pack of African wild dogs begins to stir, fluidly, in unison, as if sharing a single heartbeat. Their footfalls are nearly silent, ghosts gliding over the arid earth. They are pack hunters with a deeply cohesive social structure, where a dominant pair breeds and others help raise the young by sharing food. This cooperation gives their pups a far higher survival rate than those of most other predators. Each dog wears a unique coat pattern, a means of rapid identification amidst the speed and distance of a long chase. Their large, rounded ears not only dissipate heat but also capture sound with extraordinary acuity, allowing them to track the movement of prey from afar. Their communication is subtle and discreet, relying on high-frequency sounds and gestures, ensuring precise coordination without alerting their quarry. Before each hunt, the pack performs an energetic greeting ceremony, reinforcing bonds and synchronizing their strategy. They rely not on explosive power, but on phenomenal stamina, able to maintain a high speed over great distances until their prey is exhausted. Their hunting success rate is among the highest of any terrestrial predator. In the distance, a herd of wildebeest moves slowly, their heads rising and falling in a familiar rhythm of vigilance. Their grey-brown coats, high shoulders, and powerful forequarters give them a gait that is both cumbersome and enduring, perfectly adapted for long journeys across the plains. They are herding grazers, depending on synchronicity and sheer numbers to minimize the risk of predation. During the Great Migration, their numbers can swell into the hundreds of thousands, forming an almost unending river of life. They can sense signals from their kin with remarkable speed. One individual reacts, and the entire herd is instantly in motion. Keen eyesight and good hearing help them detect danger from a distance, but they often act only when the signal ripples through the herd. Yet this very reliance on collective reflex can leave them vulnerable to a persistent hunter. When panicked, the herd can descend into brief chaos, creating isolated individuals, ideal targets for a predator. The chase begins not with a burst of speed, but with a steady, relentless pace. They take turns leading the pursuit, maintaining continuous pressure, a tactic that gradually wears the quarry down. They do not need an immediate kill, only to apply pressure until their prey can run no more. But the Serengeti does not operate on instinct and biology alone. In the culture of the Maasai people, this is the land that runs on forever, a place where every creature carries an ancient story. The Maasai tell that, in the beginning, the predators vied for dominion over the plains in a battle without end. The lion, with its power and pride, declared itself king. The wild dog, with its unity and intelligence, believed true power lay with the pack. To end the dispute, the creator, whom they call Enkai, set a law. Each would have its own path to survival, and none would take it all. And from that, two strategies were born, never crossing, yet always in parallel. On the other side of the plains, a pride of lionesses moves in silence, their bodies held low to the ground. Their tawny coats blend perfectly with the dry grass, rendering them nearly invisible in the early light. They are the embodiment of ambush, powerful muscles, stealthy movements, and an explosive burst of speed over short distances. Within the pride, it is the females who are the primary hunters, working together to encircle and isolate their prey. Retractable claws and soft paw pads allow them to approach with barely a sound. Their target today is an African buffalo that has strayed slightly from its herd. A formidable mass of muscle, its every step slow but heavy on the dry earth. The African buffalo is one of the most dangerous herbivores in the Serengeti. They are aggressive, quick to react, and willing to fight back. With a thick boss of horns that fuse into a shield-like helmet, they can toss or gore a predator with a single charge. They typically move in large herds for defense, maintaining a tight formation with adults surrounding the young in the center. When threatened, the entire herd may turn to counterattack instead of fleeing, a rare tactic among grazers. But a lone individual becomes a potential target. The lions lock their gaze on the target, lowering their bodies, using the terrain to conceal every advance. Then comes the explosion. The lioness launches with all her might, aiming for a point of weakness, trying to close the distance and gain a hold before the prey can fully react. This is no longer a simple hunt, but a direct confrontation between power and technique. The struggle is protracted, draining the energy of both sides. Finally, only when the buffalo falters does the balance tip in the predator's favor. It is a strategy fraught with risk, but the reward is commensurate. In the distance, the wild dog pack is long gone, not out of fear, but because they understand the rules. Avoiding unnecessary conflict is key to survival. Two predators, two distinct evolutionary paths, coexisting just as the Maasai legend tells. One, a master of power and silence. The other, a master of speed, stamina, and unity. And between them, the prey species constantly adapt, developing their senses, reflexes, and social behaviors to survive two different pressures of predation. A morning on the Serengeti is therefore not just a series of biological events, but a reflection of ancient laws where every strategy has its place. As the sun climbs higher, the mist vanishes, revealing a seemingly peaceful savanna. But beneath that calm facade lies a complex network of interactions, where every creature plays its part in the endless cycle of life. Not only in the Serengeti, but across our planet, these same laws repeat themselves in different forms, in more extreme environments. Ancient laws of life, death, and the ceaseless struggle for existence. Leaving the African plains, we travel to a natural opposite, a place where life must contend not only with competitors, but with the very environment itself. At the heart of the North American continent, there exists a land where the earth breathes fire and ice. This is a world where the planet's crust is thin and volatile, a place where winter reigns with absolute authority. When the thermometer falls to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, the landscape transforms into a kingdom of crystal and long shadows. The stillness is almost tangible, a silence so profound it seems to have weight and substance of its own. Here, life is not a given but a victory earned over millennia of evolution. Only the strongest, the most resilient, and the best adapted will survive to witness the gentle rebirth of spring. This is nature at its most raw and honest. A profound reminder of our place in that grand order. Welcome to Yellowstone. America's first national park and one of the last great intact ecosystems in the world. It is preserved not just for its spectacular beauty, but as a vast, living laboratory. A place where we can witness the ancient dance between predator and prey, between life and death, played out against a magnificent backdrop. And at no time is that dance more starkly defined than when winter descends. When winter grips the Yellowstone Plateau, it transforms it into one of the harshest environments on Earth. Snow accumulates in drifts many feet deep, while temperatures regularly plummet far below freezing. The Lamar Valley, often called the Serengeti of North America, becomes the stage for the most dramatic tales of survival. For the gray wolf, reintroduced to Yellowstone in the mid-1990s, winter is not a curse, but a time of opportunity. They were born for this world. Their thick double coat consists of a soft underfur for insulation and long water-resistant guard hairs on the outside. Wide paws act as natural snowshoes, distributing their weight and allowing them to move efficiently over a surface where other animals struggle. But their greatest weapon is neither fang nor claw. It is the pack. A wolf pack is a family, often spanning generations, led by an alpha pair. They move as one body, a collective intelligence honed by thousands of hunts. Communicating through a complex language of glances, subtle tail flicks, and minute shifts in posture, they coordinate with deadly efficiency. An acute sense of smell can detect a herd of elk from miles away, while their ears can pinpoint prey hidden beneath the snow. The contest between wolf and elk is as ancient as time itself. A lethal ballet in which each player knows its part. Elk possess immense size and dangerous antlers, but they are at a disadvantage in deep snow. They live in large herds. This strategy helps in the early detection of predators, while also making it easier for weaker individuals to be separated from the group. In winter, their thick coats provide insulation, but food becomes scarce. They must move constantly in search of dried grasses and young shoots. In some areas, just inches below the snow, the ground remains warm enough to sustain small mammals. And where there is prey, there will be a predator. The red fox has perfected a remarkable hunting technique. As one of the world's most widely distributed carnivores, it is adaptable to many environments, from forests and grasslands to the harshness of a snow-covered world. Its ears, like satellite dishes, can detect the faintest rustle of a vole moving in its tunnels beneath the deep snowpack. This exceptionally acute hearing allows it to see its prey even when it is completely hidden from view. It pinpoints its quarry by sound, perhaps even using the Earth's magnetic field as an internal compass to calculate the distance, a rare ability among mammals. In a behavior known as mousing, the fox leaps high into the air, arching its body and plunging headfirst into the snow like an arrow. Its long, bushy tail provides perfect balance in midair. And more often than not, it emerges with its meal. Sharp teeth and quick reflexes allow it to dispatch its prey in an instant. These small predators must consume food approaching their own body weight each day just to maintain their temperature and energy in the brutal cold. The ability to cache surplus food beneath the snow also helps them survive through lean times. Beneath the surface of the land and in the rivers, a busy engineer is getting to work. Beavers become particularly active, repairing dams and lodges damaged by the winter ice. As large, semi-aquatic rodents, they spend most of their time near water, where their dams and lodges help protect them from predators and harsh weather. These ecosystem engineers transform the landscape more than any other species besides human. By building dams, they turn fast-flowing streams into calm ponds and wetlands, slowing the flow and trapping sediment and water. These new habitats benefit countless other species, from moose and western toads to waterfowl. A beaver family can fell hundreds of trees a year, preferring aspen and willow, not only for building material but also as their primary food source. Their incisors grow continuously, allowing for efficient gnawing and cutting, while their flat, scaly tail provides balance on land and aids in steering while swimming. The landscape of Yellowstone also undergoes a spectacular change. As the snow recedes, the flora erupts with an intense vitality. The first wildflowers, like the glacier lily, bloom right at the edge of the receding snowpack. They take advantage of the abundant moisture and sunlight before the forest canopy leafs out and shades them. In the rivers below, the cutthroat trout begin their annual spawning ritual. They are a cold water species, dependent on clean, oxygen-rich water and stable temperatures for their survival. The female uses her tail to dig a shallow nest in the gravel, called a red, where she lays her eggs for the male to fertilize. These reds help protect the eggs from strong currents and predators. Their life cycle is intimately tied to the rhythm of the river. From hatching to growing and returning to the very place of their birth to spawn, a behavior that demonstrates an astonishingly precise navigational ability. As the wetlands thaw, the birds begin to return. The sandhill crane, one of the earliest arrivals, performs its intricate courtship dance in the meadows. They are long-distance migrants, returning to the same breeding grounds year after year. Standing nearly 5 feet tall, these birds leap, flap, and bow in synchronized movements to reinforce a bond that can last for decades. They are typically monogamous and maintain nesting territories in shallow wetlands, which provide an ample food supply and a good vantage point to spot danger. Summer arrives in Yellowstone not gradually, but as an explosion. It is a season of an abundance almost unimaginable in winter. A time when a brief window of opportunity opens, triggering a frantic biological race to grow, reproduce, and prepare. The sun's energy, captured by countless plants, flows through the food web with an intensity only possible in this short season. As summer arrives, the center of the drama shifts to the giants of the grasslands. The bison enter their breeding season known as the rut. The bulls, which normally live alone or in small groups, now rejoin the larger herds. Their usual placid demeanor gives way to aggressive displays as they compete for the right to mate. Bison bulls establish dominance through impressive displays. They paw at the ground with their horns, creating wallows where they roll, coating their enormous bodies in dust. This action is partly to deter insects, but more importantly, it is a visual display of size and strength. Their deep, resonant bellows carry for miles, a declaration of presence and a challenge. When displays are not enough, physical confrontations decide the hierarchy. Clashes between 2,000-pound giants can be incredibly violent. They charge at full speed, and the force of the impact could kill most other mammals. But the bison's skull is specially constructed with a thick, porous bone structure and massive neck muscles that absorb these terrifying collisions. While rarely fatal, these battles can inflict serious injuries. The victorious bull gains access to the females, ensuring that the genes of the strongest individuals are passed on to the next generation. On the open plains, a champion of speed is enjoying the summer. The pronghorn, North America's fastest land mammal, can reach speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. This speed is an evolutionary legacy developed to escape predators that are now extinct, like the American cheetah. Today, that speed gives them an enormous safety margin against existing predators. Their enormous eyes are among the largest relative to body size of any land mammal. With a field of vision of nearly 320 degrees, they allow the pronghorn to spot movement up to 4 miles away. The fawns, born in the spring, now exhibit the species' incredible swiftness. By midsummer, they can outrun most of their predators, a vital skill in an open world. As summer gives way to fall, a subtle but unmistakable change sweeps across Yellowstone. The air grows crisp and cool. The days shorten. The landscape ignites with the gold of aspens and the red of underbrush. It is a season of preparation and transition, of gatherings and migrations, of final mating rituals and final harvests before the onset of winter. Amidst this transformation, black bears appear with their families, moving quietly through the changing forests. A mother black bear will often send her cubs up a tree when she senses danger. Unlike grizzly bears, the young of a black bear typically become independent sooner, after only about 16 months. As autumn arrives, black bears enter the most critical phase of their year, a period of intense energy accumulation before hibernation. They spend most of their day foraging, constantly moving through forests and valleys, seeking any rich food source they can find. The diet becomes diverse and opportunistic, from berries, nuts, and roots to insects and animal carcasses. In areas where they are available, they also take advantage of fish or small animals. Their excellent climbing ability allows them to access food sources that many other species cannot reach. During this period, a black bear's body can gain weight rapidly, accumulating a thick layer of fat that will serve as an energy reserve for the many months of winter when food is virtually non-existent. Their activity becomes almost constant, with short rests interspersed between foraging bouts. When temperatures begin to drop and food sources dwindle, black bears seek out secluded dens like tree hollows, rock caves, or earthen burrows to prepare for hibernation. Unlike a true deep sleep, they can be roused if disturbed, but their heart rate and metabolism slow dramatically to conserve energy. Autumn, therefore, is not just a season of transition, but a silent race against time, where every calorie accumulated determines the chance of survival through the harsh winter ahead. On the steep, rocky slopes, where the grasses have turned the tawny brown of autumn and distant forests, are beginning to glow with orange and red. Another ritual of survival is underway, the fight for the right to mate. Male bighorn sheep enter their season of combat to establish a dominant hierarchy. Mature rams, bearing massive curved horns that can weigh up to 30 pounds, charge one another at speeds of nearly 40 miles per hour, turning the mountainside into a battlefield of pure power and impact. Each collision creates a concussive crack that echoes through the valleys and can be heard for miles. Their skulls have evolved with a double-layered structure and an internal system of struts that act as a natural shock absorber. This protects the brain from the tremendous force of impact, a mechanism possessed by few other species on Earth. The confrontations last until one individual is exhausted and forced to retreat, ceding dominance to the stronger ram. As the first snowflakes of the season begin to fall, a quiet descends upon the land. The migrants have departed. The bears are denning. The great wheel of the seasons has completed another turn. The abundance of summer and the urgency of autumn now give way to the coming silence and trial. For the creatures that remain, a new struggle is about to begin. The eternal cycle of Yellowstone continues, an unending symphony of life, written in fire, ice, and time. Before dawn breaks over the dense woodlands of Kruger National Park, a toxic shadow stands motionless amidst the high canopy. A female leopard, the ultimate icon of mystery and fluid grace, is on the prowl. In the world of the leopard, trees are far more than mere resting places. They are watchtowers, fortresses, and launching pads for lightning-fast ambushes. Draped in the geometry of shadows, her rosettes break the very outlines of her being. She does not merely hide, she becomes the forest itself. Through eyes of liquid amber, she reads the silent language of the grass, waiting for a single heartbeat to falter. Beneath the foliage, a herd of impala drifts slowly into range. Every footfall is light, as if danger were absent from this hushed morning. She is tense, her muscles coiled and primed for action. The leopard drags her prize into the deep shade, then, with extraordinary strength, hauls it high into the canopy. There she will feed in seclusion, beyond the reach of hyenas and other opportunistic thieves. Solitude is no weakness. It is the very essence of the leopard's power. As heat blankets the grasslands of Kruger and the sun parches the earth, massive, dark forms begin to stir. These are neither lions nor elephants. These are Cape buffalo, horned titans that command caution from even the most seasoned predator. They move like a disciplined army in a tight, impenetrable formation. Each weighs nearly 2,000 pounds, their dark hides shimmering, horns curving like the iron helms of ancient warriors. They are no docile grazers, despite their appearance. Beneath that thick hide beats a heart that refuses to yield. They guard the collective as if life itself depends upon their unity. Calves huddle at the center, shielded by the herd. At the fringes, dominant bulls stand sentry, ready to charge into battle at a moment's notice. A lone lioness watches, mesmerized by the raw power radiating from those steel-like horns. She is fascinated by the raw strength of their spiraled, iron-hard weaponry. The lioness was badly wounded. It was a bitter lesson. Never confront the Cape buffalo alone. She is not the first predator to retreat before them, and she certainly will not be the last. The herd continues its journey as a mobile fortress, unglamorous and quiet, yet possessed of an unshakable resolve. As the sun begins to bake the Kalahari, a mob of meerkats emerges, standing tall like miniature sentinels. Tiny and nimble, they thrive in tight-knit clans, where every individual has a vital duty. They are renowned for their sophisticated system of vocal alarms. At the first warning from a sentinel, the entire mob abandons everything to vanish into the safety of the burrow. In a land of hawks and cobras, unity is the only way to survive. But not every alarm is genuine. Nearby, a fork-tailed drongo, a master of mimicry, watches. He imitates the meerkat's alarm, a perfect and calculated deception. He even varies his calls, imitating eagles or snakes, to ensure the meerkats never grow accustomed to his trickery. Sometimes they will imitate the sound of an eagle, other times the sound of a snake, a truly astonishing display of cunning. With one false cry, panic spreads. The meerkats abandon their hard-earned feast. Instead, they stand guard for the collective, even at the cost of their own hunger. Along the Atlantic coast, where brutal waves batter the South African shore, thrives a clamorous community, Cape Fur seals. Near Cape Town, upon moss-covered rocks, seals huddle together, their bodies shivering in the salt spray. Their collective roar, territorial bellows and calls echoes like a wild symphony of the southern seas. They were not born for combat, yet they are masters of survival. The Cape Fur seal possesses a waterproof coat and powerful flippers. Dominant bulls claim the rocks, guarding their harems. pups are born into this chaos, with no sanctuary but their mother's side. Far from the Antarctic's flows, a strange story unfolds on the sun-drenched sands of South Africa. Among granite coves, African penguins have made a fateful trade, abandoning the frost for the searing sun. They are the only penguins on Earth to claim these temperate shores as their sanctuary. Standing less than 2 feet tall, they wear a tuxedo of black and white with a signature horseshoe marking. Survival in the heat relies not on feathers, but on pink glands. Above their eyes, a sophisticated cooling system. It regulates their temperature when the sun bakes the boulders throughout the year. In spring, shallow burrows witness one of the most enduring bonds in the natural world. Pairing for life, they return to the same refuge annually, nesting amidst the harsh wind and sand. Yet their greatest foe is not the heat, but a deadly silence from the ocean. But a shadow longer than night now falls upon these shores. A once vibrant chorus is fading into a haunting silence, as their lifeline to the ocean is severed by hands they cannot see. Two million voices have been reduced to a fragile whisper, a final plea written in the sand before the tide washes it away. Today, upon these ancient stones, humanity is learning to step back, allowing nature to heal itself. Every tiny nest is a final fortress, a silent plea for survival beneath the African sun. Their struggle is no longer against nature, but for remembrance, before they vanish forever. Across boundless grasslands, the towering forms of African elephants move like living fortresses. Majestic and silent, they walk powered by muscles and the weight of ancestral memory. In a world where breath and death are intertwined, they are icons of wisdom and patience. Each herd is guided by a matriarch, holding a mental map of ancient springs and migration routes. Under her protection, the family traverses Kruger's woodlands to the Kalahari's scorched sands. Here, memory is the ultimate tool for survival, the only thread preventing their lineage from being swallowed. South Africa is a vibrant yet uncompromising tapestry of life. From the solitary leopard to the buffalo's wall of steel, all are caught in a cycle of tension that never truly ends. In this parched land, nature offers no mercy and knows no rules. Only those with an unyielding will and fierce instinct earn the right to see tomorrow's dawn. Yet, amidst this splendor, echoes of a crisis are beginning to ring out. Thinned colonies and the roar of the seals testify to a balance that is beginning to fracture. Habitats are vanishing, and giant footprints are slowly being erased by time. Nature does not need us to survive, but we cannot exist without it. In this epic struggle, certain creatures stand as enduring symbols of power. One of Africa's largest bovines, the Cape buffalo, is among the most dangerous creatures on the continent. He does not hunt, yet he strikes terror into those who dare to pursue him. Weighing up to 2,200 pounds, he is a mobile fortress of muscle and bone, His most striking feature is the set of horns that meet at the forehead to form a formidable shield. A natural boss capable of withstanding the full fury of an adult lion. Blending caution with aggression, the herd forms a living barricade, ready to counterattack. This is why hunters speak of him as the Black Death. Not because he hunts humans, but because he refuses to run, fighting to his very last breath. Dawn rises on the far horizon, staining the savanna with a layer of radiant light. Through the morning mist, a deep rumble emerges, a wordless challenge. From the silent herd, two mature bulls separate, locking gazes. This is not a battle of life and death. It is a struggle for status and dominion over territory and the chance to breed. To claim the title, there is only one path, an uncompromising test of strength. On the horizon, the low scrub stirs not from the wind, but the approach of a solitary giant. Each footfall resonates across the earth like a distant war drum. This is the southern white rhinoceros, the second largest land mammal on our planet. With a massive frame exceeding 4,400 pounds, he has no need for concealment. He fears no one. Upon his nose is a legendary weapon, a horn of solid keratin, which can exceed 3 feet in length. A creature of war. He prefers solitude, living by a rhythm as ancient as his million-year lineage. Yet even a giant must defend his domain. Despite his solitary nature, the rhino is vital to the savanna's health. His paths create natural corridors for other species to find water and food. By grazing on short grasses, he prevents scrubland from overwhelming the open plains. Even his waste nourishes the soil, fueling plant growth and sustaining insect life. Amidst the dust of the African basin, a towering silhouette emerges from the haze. Majestic and deliberate, the elephant herd moves as a single, unified entity. At the formation's heart, calves find safety in the immense shadows of their kin. They do not just rely on strength. Elephants hear the earth through their feet. Through the very soles of their feet, they hear the pulse of the earth. These silent giants possess a wisdom that transcends the air, sensing the distant thunder of a coming storm or the ghost echoes of a wandering herd carried through the ground like a deep, subterranean song. This is a display of intelligence and an unshakable matriarchal order. In this land, no predator is foolish enough to challenge a mature herd. At the distant roar of a lion, they instantly tighten their ranks into a circle of iron. £13,000 of muscle form an impregnable wall, shielding the young. Their coordination transforms the collective into the ultimate defensive machine. Their weapons are ivory swords in the largest individuals. Nearly 2 meters long, used both to explore the lifeblood beneath the barren soil and to deliver deadly blows. The skillful trunk, with its tens of thousands of muscle bundles, can gently soothe a cub after a long night of fear. But it is also powerful enough to bring down a lion in a single strike. Despite their deliberate pace, an angry giant can surge at 25 miles per hour. Their true power is not in destruction, but in their ability to shape the world. They are nature's engineers, creating waterholes and trails that sustain life. They rule through wisdom and empathy, forcing even the most arrogant lion pride to retreat. The rainy season in Kruger is also the stage for an explosion of new life. Every year at the beginning of the wet season, nearly all female impalas in Kruger give birth within a few weeks of each other. The newborn fawns, still trembling on their legs, are able to run within a few hours. It is a biological marvel, synchronized births that overwhelm predators. Impalas are a favored prey species, especially for leopards, which makes this synchronized birthing all the more critical. During the rainy season, impalas gather around water sources and open grasslands. They move in large herds to reduce the risk of predation. Their activity peaks in the early morning and late afternoon. But not all species only know how to flee. There are more complex societies where intelligence and unity are weapons against danger. Chakma baboons also take advantage of the short-term abundance of food during Kruger's rainy season. Carrying their young across the savanna, Chakma baboons forage while remaining constantly vigilant for leopards. With grass sprouting and fruit ripening after the rains, baboons gather in large troops to forage. Their defensive instincts are strong. Infants are kept at the center of the troop. And in the high canopy, other sentinels are also on duty, with a surprisingly complex alarm system. Another primate and a common resident of Kruger's woodlands is the vervet monkey. Perched on rain-soaked branches, vervet monkeys become the silent sentinels of the canopy. Their appearance is distinctive: a slender body, silvery gray fur, and a striking black face. When the rains fall and the trees flower and fruit once more, food becomes plentiful. Defense is an instinct from the youngest to the oldest individuals. When they spot a leopard or an eagle, vervet monkeys emit distinct alarm calls. Research has shown that when they hear the leopard call, they run up into the trees. When they hear the eagle call, they look up at the sky, and for the snake call, they look down at the ground. While the ground and trees are filled with battles of wits for survival, the sky is a stage for dazzling, colorful dances. Where the acacia trees stretch endlessly across the open savanna, standing like nature's sentinels, the Mara River winds, a fluid boundary between heaven and earth. The Masai Mara, a grand stage for one of Africa's most extraordinary survival plays. Here, the river is not just water, it is an arena. Welcome to the Masai Mara, where the secrets of Africa's most ferocious hunters are revealed. The Maasai, the heart of East Africa, beats to a steady rhythm, breathing life into its spectacular landscapes. In this wilderness, towering termite mounds rise like ancient fortresses. Standing amidst the grasslands, not just as natural formations, but as watchtowers for patient predators. The Mara River cuts through the plains like a deep scar, dividing the wilderness into two contrasting worlds. Its waters are not just a lifeline, they are a battlefield. Beneath its murky surface, the Nile crocodile awaits. A silent assassin, honed by time, with a relentless grip and a strike as swift as fate. On land, the lionesses move with the air of seasoned warriors, masters of the hunt, their every step a dominion over the savannah. Facing them, the spotted hyenas gather in ruthless clans, both relentless hunters and nature's cleanup crew. Deep in the thickets, the elusive leopard lies in wait, a shadow of silent precision. Its ambush is executed with a lethal grace. And across the vast open plains, the cheetah reigns. Its legendary speed turns every chase into an uncompromising pursuit. The vast Greater Mara ecosystem is a living tapestry of life, seamlessly connecting the Masai Mara National Reserve, the Mara Triangle, and the surrounding conservancies. This region, with an elevation ranging from 4,900 to over 7,100 feet, has a multi-layered landscape sculpted by valleys, rivers, and rolling hills. The name Masai Mara is derived from the Maasai community, the nomadic people who have coexisted with this land for centuries. Mara in their language means spotted. The Maasai not only live here but have also become intrinsically linked to nature, maintaining their pastoralist lifestyle by herding cattle for generations. The Masai Mara is home to over 95 mammal species and 570 bird species. The savanna grasses, shrubs, and the iconic acacia trees stand tall. But the Masai Mara is more than just a beautiful landscape. In this story, the Nile crocodile emerges as the undisputed ruler of the Mara's deeps. This colossal predator is a legend in the wildlife world, capable of reaching lengths of up to 20 feet and weighing over 2,200 pounds. According to a 2024 IUCN report, the largest Nile crocodiles can grow up to 23 feet, making them the second largest reptile in the world. Each hunt is a masterclass in patience and unparalleled power. Under the scorching Masai Mara sun, Nile crocodiles are often seen lying motionless along the riverbanks. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., they bask, absorbing the sunlight to regulate their body temperature. When the water temperature drops below 86 degrees Fahrenheit, these predators retreat to the land. At night, as darkness envelops the Mara River, the Nile crocodile awakens. Every muscle is tensed, ready to strike with the precision of a compressed spring. In the dry season, when food is scarce, the Nile crocodile conserves energy by lying motionless in the sun. Its ability to store fat allows it to endure the harshest months, turning every meal into a crucial reserve for survival. The Nile crocodile reigns as the apex predator of its habitat, dominating its territory with few rivals. But can it truly challenge a Cape buffalo, a giant herbivore that can weigh nearly 2,000 pounds? These formidable creatures move in herds, approaching the Mara River with a stately presence, their sharp, curved horns glittering in the sun. With a success rate of only about 15% when hunting buffalo, the crocodile faces a difficult challenge. The most fearsome aspect of the Cape buffalo is their sense of unity. If one member of the herd is attacked, the entire group often turns back to counterattack. Another challenging target for the Nile crocodile is the Maasai giraffe, the largest and most iconic giraffe in the Masai Mara. These giraffes are also the tallest in the world, reaching an average height of 18 to 20 feet. When a Maasai giraffe bends its head to the Mara River to drink, It must splay its front legs and bring its head close to the ground, a vulnerable position. Therefore, Maasai giraffes are always vigilant, lowering their heads to drink for only short moments, often 15 to 30 seconds to minimize the risk. Even in this precarious position, the giraffe is not an easy target. The Mara River, the lifeblood of the Masai Mara, is also home to one of Africa's most iconic giants, the African bush elephant. A member of the Big Five and the largest land animal on Earth, these elephants stand up to 13 feet tall and can weigh up to 15,000 pounds. According to a 2023 study published in the Journal of Wildlife Ecology, these elephants can learn and remember migration routes and recognize individual herd members. When the herds of African bush elephants approach the banks of the Mara River, every step resonates with dominance. These giants take over the shallows, where the Nile crocodiles have been waiting in hunger for months. The powerful footsteps of the African bush elephant do more than just stir the ground around the Mara River. They reshape the landscape itself. As these massive creatures tear through vegetation and dig deep into the earth in search of hidden water sources, they inadvertently create small ponds and channels. According to a 2024 study by the African Ecological Research Center, the water bodies created by elephants are ideal breeding grounds for Nile crocodiles. In the harsh Kalahari Desert, silence is absolute before the chase begins. For the cheetah, time is the greatest adversary. It has only 20 seconds at full speed before its body overreacts and forces a halt. But its prey, The oryx is not easily subdued. Rather than fleeing in panic, it may turn to face its pursuer when cornered. A special brain cooling system allows it to remain clear-headed under duress. Horns, over 3.3 feet long, become sharp weapons, forcing any predator to be wary. Against such an opponent, even a cheetah's speed is not always enough. Even young lions pay a price when confronting an oryx. For them, it is not just a hunt, but a test of patience and experience. A single miscalculation can result in injury. Those sharp horns form a formidable defense, enough to repel inexperienced predators. But in time, they will learn to wait, to coordinate, and to choose the right moment. For one day, these novices will become true rulers. As the lion cubs survive their 5th month, their innate curiosity gives way to their first hunting lessons. This learning process is not mere imitation. It is the inheritance of survival strategies from the previous generation, especially from the lioness. Genetics and social behavior have shaped their future from the very first moments. Biological studies show that young lionesses often join the pride's hunts early, learning coordination and tactical skills. In contrast, young males focus more on developing physical strength and confrontational skills, often through scavenging. All are necessary preparations for the distinct roles and responsibilities they will assume as adults. As the cubs grow, their mother's training regimen becomes more demanding. No longer are the targets easy. The lioness begins to stage true rehearsals, where the line between life and death becomes blurred. In silence, the lioness observes and guides, demanding absolute focus and precise coordination from her offspring. Yet, the young are inherently impatient. A single moment of lost control by one fledgling member can ruin an entire, carefully calculated plan. Science has shown that this trial and error process is crucial for the cubs to learn the exact timing and method of attack. Failure in a wildebeest hunt is a painful lesson. It forces the young predators to recognize their limits and shift to more suitable targets. In the harshness of the natural world, difficult circumstances sometimes bring opportunity. A desperate foal, separated from the herd, might become the next objective. The prey's suffering is the predator's chance for survival, a cruel but necessary law of nature. On the savannah, death is not the end. It is a beginning, the life force that nourishes another being. The sun sets, and a new drama begins with a hunt that has no end. But even a prince must learn humility, especially when his opponent is a living legend. The African buffalo, nicknamed the Black Death. A ton of rippling muscle and horns fused into a solid shield, ready to crush any arrogance that dares to challenge it. The strength of these giants lies not in the individual, but in their unity. Protecting the herd is a sacred command. When their boundary is crossed, they do not flee. Instead, the entire herd masses together, forming a living wall, an impregnable fortress of muscle. The hunt is suddenly reversed. The hunter now becomes the hunted. The line between predator and prey is completely erased. And in this confrontation, no king accepts the shame of failure. Leaving the searing heat of the desert, we arrive at a different, yet no less dramatic setting. In the final days of Botswana's dry season, the dancers of destiny begin their performance once more. The plains zebra, with its unique black and white patterns, is an unmistakable symbol of Africa. Each individual bears a distinct set of stripes, like nature's own fingerprint, never to be repeated. But in this world, magnificent beauty can sometimes come with a harsh sentence. Hidden among the bushes, a pair of amber eyes watches with particular interest. To satisfy their hunger, predators must engage in this dance of chance every single day. The lioness prepares for this contest of wits with absolute silence. Beneath soft pads are sharp claws, which can be over 3 inches long. She knows her stamina allows for only a 330-foot burst of speed, so she does not rush. A single moment of inattention, and the golden blur shoots forward like an arrow. When the rains arrive, a paradise is woven from green pastures and the red traces of dominance. The majestic led stallion, weighing nearly 660 pounds, rules over his harem of 2 to 6 mares. To win this supreme position, bachelors must challenge the reigning ruler. This is a ruthless crucible, one that determines a true king. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the plains, the mares are fulfilling their own sacred mission. The foals we see here were, in fact, born only a few hours ago. But this happy scene is quickly shattered. A storm of fury descends without warning. When the throne is taken by force, the new ruler may carry a brutal, inherited instinct to kill the offspring of his predecessor. This behavior prompts the females, now freed from the burden of nursing, to return to estrus more quickly. But a zebra mother does not yield easily. A heroic symphony resounds. Maternal love confronts the harsh laws of evolution head-on. But not every mother's heart is strong enough to shield a fragile life from the cruelty of nature. Even so, there is no place for mourning on the savannah. With the arrival of the rains, a new journey begins. They need the mineral-rich grasslands that lie far away. An invisible map guides them along the routes of their ancestors. As the herd moves, thousands of stripes merge, creating a chaotic illusion. Life becomes a visual labyrinth that confounds predators. It is a living coat of armor. Much like the Mara River during the Great Migration from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, the Boteti River in Botswana presents a true test for this army. While the striped herds travel thousands of miles, another, quieter journey begins in the darkness of the dens. Deep underground, a complex social order is at work. This is the world of the spotted hyena, a society dominated by females. An individual's position in the clan is determined by the lineage and strength of the matriarch. Unlike many other predators, hyena cubs are not born helpless or blind. They are born with their eyes wide open and a set of teeth ready for battle. And their first fight is, sometimes, with their own siblings. This rivalry is especially fierce between same-sex twins, beginning within hours of birth. The prize is not only precious mother's milk, but the establishment of a lifelong dominance. This is the first and most brutal lesson in status, in a society defined by power. The spotted hyena is one of the most brutal and effective predators on the African savanna. Its appearance may seem unusual, but its body is perfectly adapted for hunting. Low, powerful, weighing from 100 to over 176 pounds. Shoulders higher than its hips, a broad head, and above all, one of the most powerful jaws among carnivorous mammals. With a yellow coat spotted with dark patches and a muscular neck that helps it tear flesh, carry prey, and even confront other predators, the hyena is an efficient machine. The spotted hyena is an extremely intelligent omnivore. Its diet varies with the seasons and opportunities. They hunt in groups, attacking wildebeest, zebras, impalas, but also scavenge. A clan can be up to 80 individuals led by an alpha female, a rare phenomenon among mammals. This matriarchal structure is highly organized. When the rainy season ends, a great change occurs. Mother's milk gradually gives way to harsh lessons in survival. The true hunting instinct awakens. Their jaws are forged, preparing for the bone-crushing power to come. Defying old prejudices, spotted hyenas are active and efficient predators, with over 60% of their diet coming from their own hunts. They rely not on the speed of a cheetah, but on endurance and pack tactics to exhaust their prey. confidence, and sometimes recklessness has pushed them to an unthinkable challenge, confronting the giants of the savannah. Their target is not an adult elephant, but the faint hope of a calf separated from the herd. But it is a miscalculation. The elephant herd is not just a fortress. It is a living wall, commanded by sacred maternal bonds and the matriarch's experience. A few exploratory steps from the hyenas are immediately met with a warning that cannot be ignored. The confrontation ends before it has truly begun. This is not just a failed hunt. It is a costly lesson in the order of nature, about the boundaries of power that must never be crossed. Africa. The land of giants. But here, one species reigns supreme. The lion, the second largest cat on the planet, surpassed only by the tiger. A perfect fighting machine, weighing up to 496 pounds and reaching 10 feet in length. This colossal size, combined with a rippling muscular system, not only helps them dominate the grasslands, but also allows them to bring down prey many times their own weight. But their true weapon is sound. A roar that thunders like rolling thunder, audible from 5 miles away. A skill perfected by the time they are 1 year old, a defiant declaration of territory and a connection between pride members. In a stark departure from the solitude of other felines, lions have chosen a social life. A pride can have from 3 to 40 members, where related females raise the future generation together. Alone, a lioness has a success rate of less than 30%. But when they cooperate, they become an unstoppable force, bringing down colossal prey to ensure each member can consume up to 20 pounds of meat per day. Their appearance, too, is a story of adaptation. In the Serengeti, a thick mane is a measure of health and fighting prowess. But in the scorching heat of Kenya's Tsavo, these kings shed that crown, going maneless to survive the searing heat. Once dominant across continents, their kingdom is now shrinking. Habitat loss and poaching are pushing this species to the brink. Only 20,000 remain in Africa, and a mere 500 inches India. The king of beasts is facing its own greatest battle for survival. The symphony of life and death in the Serengeti is one of its most majestic spectacles. But Africa's story of resilience is also written elsewhere, in Zakuma National Park in southeastern Chad. The park lies in the Sudan-Sahel Transition Ecozone, a region representing the convergence of the Sahara's edge and the Central African rainforests. Zakuma was officially established in 1963, becoming the nation's first national park and one of the oldest nature reserves in Central Africa. Today, Zakuma is home to over 130 mammal species, including the Big Five after black rhinos were reintroduced in 2018. The bird life is also incredibly diverse, with 530 species. The Kordofan giraffe, the tallest land animal, faces a true challenge to survive the dry season. A critically endangered subspecies, fewer than 2,000 Kordofan giraffes remain in the wild. Over half of them live in the central region of Zakuma. According to 2024 data from the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, Compared to other subspecies, the Kordofan giraffe is considerably smaller, with an average height of 15 to 18 feet. Its oral structure, with flexible lips and a tongue that can reach nearly 18 inches, allows it to easily browse on leaves from thorny branches. This is a remarkable biological advantage, reducing direct competition with other herbivores. Due to its long neck and specialized cardiovascular system, the blood pressure required to pump blood to the brain is twice that of a human. The act of bending down to drink during the dry season, when water sources are just small pools, carries the risk of a sudden drop in blood pressure and a serious loss of balance. A simple misstep at this moment could be perilous. To adapt, the Kordofan giraffe minimizes the time it keeps its head low and often moves in the early morning when temperatures are more tolerable. An even greater concern is its slow reproductive cycle and low birth rate. Each female gives birth to a single calf after a gestation period of up to 15 months. In contrast to many species in Zakuma that tend to hide from the daytime heat, the warthog remains active, especially during the hottest hours. It spends 60 to 70% of its day foraging. With curved tusks and a low-slung body, it can dig deep burrows for shelter at night. When green pastures are nearly gone, the warthog kneels to eat, a behavior that conserves energy and makes it easier to find roots. Although not particularly large, the warthog is not merely a passive defender. Adults can charge threats with their sharp tusks. When protecting their young, female warthogs may even proactively confront mid-sized predators. As the warthog retreats to its burrow after a day's activity, the king of the savanna appears. The West African lion. The arid savanna of Zakuma is not an easy place to live. But lions persist here, not because it is the best place, but because it is the best fit for their survival strategy. Lions in Zakuma are smaller than their eastern and southern African counterparts, with males averaging between 265 and 330 pounds. With a sparse mane and a leaner build, they possess greater agility and consume less energy, a vital advantage in a harsh environment. They hunt primarily at night and dawn, according to GPS tracking data installed in early 2025. Water holes are vital during the dry season, and thus they become strategic ambush points. In Zakuma, lion prides are often small, with just 3 to 6 individuals. The low prey density and the need to cover vast territories explain this structure. The lionesses are the center of the hunting activity, while the males are responsible for protecting the pride. In return, they have priority access to food. This is a rule that maintains order and security within the pride. Genetic analysis in 2024 by the European Institute of Conservation Biology revealed that Zakuma's lion possess an intermediate genetic profile. This demonstrates their essential role in connecting the remaining genetic corridors of the subspecies Panthera leo. With fewer than 1,000 mature individuals left in the wild, Zakuma National Park holds a vital position in the recovery and genetic diversity of the region. The African white-backed vulture. As the most common vulture in sub-Saharan Africa, they make up nearly 50% of all vultures in Chad. According to a 2024 biological survey in Zakuma, with a wingspan of up to 7.5 feet and extremely sharp vision, it can spot a carcass from a distance of 2.5 to 3 miles. When one individual spots an opportunity, it circles in a spiral above the site, a clear visual signal that attracts other vultures within minutes. During the dry season, when carcasses are more common, this species' role is amplified. They can clean a carcass in hours, eliminating pathogens such as anthrax. According to a 2025 report by African Parks, the presence of these vultures has reduced the risk of disease transmission from large animal carcasses by up to 85%. Antelopes belong to a diverse group within the Bovidae family, the same as cattle, goats, and sheep. One of their main characteristics is a body adapted for running and agility. They are herbivores, feeding on grasses, leaves, and in some cases, aquatic plants. Another trademark is their pair of permanent horns, unlike deer, which shed their antlers annually. Antelopes are also distinguished by their highly developed senses. Wide vision, acute hearing. This combination of attributes, motor skills, sensory abilities, and social strategies This humid paradise is home to an impressive diversity of species. Among the most numerous is the black lekwe, a subspecies of the lekwe antelope perfectly adapted. These antelopes live in large herds that can number in the hundreds, forming one of the most notable presences. The lechwe is easily recognizable by its golden brown coat with a lighter underside and dark hind legs. But most impressive is its adaptation to the flooded environment. Males possess long, lyre-shaped horns used in battles for dominance and territory. Amid the bustling life of the delta, there is a ghost, the Sitatunga. It has a water-repellent, oily coat and specialized hooves for walking on reeds. When in danger, it does not flee. It submerges, leaving only its nostrils exposed, and vanishes. Among the winding channels and mopane forests is one of the most elegant and numerous animals. With its soft caramel-colored coat, black markings on its hind legs, and ever-watchful eyes. They do not just see danger, they practically feel it. In a sudden leap, they can reach 10 feet in height and cover 33 feet in a single bound. During the mating season, males fight for territory with impressive displays of strength. The largest antelope, the eland, majestic and silent, is often seen wandering in small groups. Although not the most numerous, its imposing presence makes it unmistakable. Males can weigh between 1,760 and 2,200 pounds, with some exceeding that mark. Despite its enormous size, the eland is a surprisingly agile animal. It can jump over fences up to 6.5 feet high and over short distances can reach considerable speeds. The greater kudu is slightly smaller than the eland, but equally striking in size and unique features. With majestic spiral horns that can measure over 3 feet along the curve, this antelope not only commands respect, an adult male can stand up to 5 feet 3 inches at the shoulder and weigh between 420 and 595 pounds. The total body length can reach an impressive 8 feet, not including the tail, which adds another 12 to 20 inches. On its back, vertical white stripes run like brushstrokes painted by some ancestral artist. Each marking seems to tell an ancient story of survival, wisdom, and silence. The kudu moves with a surprising lightness for such a robust animal. A symbol of strength and mystery, the greater kudu has been revered by various African cultures. Its presence inspires respect not only in its natural predators but also in people. The kudu is a master of camouflage and disappearance. It is this duality between its majestic presence and its absolute silence that makes it an almost mystical figure. Together, these antelopes not only enrich the visual landscape of the delta, but also sustain the food chain. The world operates under a relentless law. No mercy, no exceptions. Every step could be the last. Life is paid for with loss. And death nourishes the life that follows. Africa, under a searing heat, is a kingdom with no place for the weak. Trudging slowly through this fiery crucible are Tatu and Zuka. Exiled by their own father to obey the laws of natural selection, the two brothers have just entered a nomadic existence of life and death. Without the protection of their pride, their odds of survival are now a mere 1 in 10. The only thing anchoring them to the threshold of life is this bond of blood. But a gnawing hunger has pushed them beyond all endurance. Risking everything, Tatu targets a herd of impala sheltering in the distance. However, To hunt in the full glare of the sun with such a powerful build is an act of near suicide. Under the violent sun, the most vigilant eyes of the savannah have already locked onto them. And no eyes are more discerning than those of Africa's giant sentinels. The giraffe. With eyes the size of golf balls, perfectly positioned on either side of their skulls, they possess an almost perfect panoramic view. From a height of over 16 feet, towering over the plains, not a single blade of grass can stir without their notice. The old bull does not flee. He stands firm like a steadfast watchtower, puffing out his muscular chest. Though human ears cannot detect it, the giraffe is emitting infrasonic waves, deep vibrations that travel through the thick air. A startlingly perfect early warning system. In an instant, the impala herd vanishes into a hazy cloud of dust. Tatu's ambush has failed completely before it could even begin. Standing under the harsh sun, Tatu and Zuka have learned a bitter lesson of survival. The supreme muscular strength of a lion is rendered meaningless if they cannot bypass this living radar system of the savannah. As the midday heat nears its peak, a need more primal and urgent than hunger begins to stir. Water. In Africa, water is not just the source of life. It is the boundary that defines ultimate power. Tatu and Zuka, drained by the merciless sun, are forced to a murky wallow, bubbling and reeking of ammonia. But in this arid land, no drop of water is free. The hippopotamus. Though they possess a special skin that secretes a blood-red mucus as a natural sunblock, they must remain submerged to regulate their body temperature. And as the water holes shrink, the territoriality of these tyrants of the swamp becomes brutally extreme. An enormous bull, weighing over 3 tons, suddenly surfaces from the turbid water. Its bite possesses a terrifying power, enough to snap a full-grown crocodile in half. For young lions like Tatu and Zuka, such a bite would be an irreversible death sentence. Yet, their ordeal for the day is far from over. The ground beneath them begins to tremble rhythmically, heralding the arrival of giant phantoms emerging from the red dust. A herd of African elephants. Leading them is a veteran matriarch, the holder of the wisdom and absolute authority of an entire family. Her extraordinary spatial memory is a priceless map of survival, guiding her herd to water from dozens of miles away. She flares her enormous ears in a threat display, lets out a deafening trumpet, and kicks up clouds of dust. Faced with a weight of over 4 tons and this unbreakable family bond, all resistance from the predators is futile. Tatu and Zuka must once again retreat, sullenly surrendering the quiet shade to these magnificent beings. In the bright light of day, they have come to understand a harsh truth of the savannah. Before the true giants of nature, even apex predators must learn to bow in deference. As the afternoon sun begins to dip, the oppressive heat continues to suffocate the savannah. Most creatures have settled into a state of rest, seeking scarce relief beneath the sparse acacia trees. But for Tatu and Zuka, gnawing hunger has driven them to the edge. Without the velvet cloak of darkness for cover, the magnificent coats and powerful frames of male lions suddenly become a critical weakness. However, these future kings are not armed merely with muscle and sharp teeth. They possess a superb spatial intelligence and a phenomenal ability to adapt to adversity. Instead of giving up, Tatu and Zuka decide to turn the cracked scars of the landscape into their ultimate weapon. They begin to stalk. Moving carefully against the wind, the two brothers use this invisible trench to silently close the distance. Their target, a languid herd of Cape buffalo. An incredible silent coordination unfolds. Zuka suddenly bursts forward, startling the herd and driving them in a panic toward the edge of a ravine. Instantly, Tatu makes his move. He latches onto an unlucky young buffalo that has stumbled and lost its footing. The perfect fusion of brute strength and sophisticated tactics has produced a spectacular daytime miracle.